Hey guys, all right, so I'm gonna do a get ready with me style slash chat slash we're gonna talk about something, and it's gonna be all drugstore today, and I will put it somewhere so you can see it so I don't have to talk about it and mention it. So we'll do that, so here we go. I'm gonna start out today, and I know I just said I'm not gonna talk about it, but we're starting out today with moisturized skin, which by the way, the Vanna Cream moisturizer is really, really good especially for mature skin. I have got also, I will mention, a little bit of eczema popping up underneath my eyes again. I don't know why. So I'm gonna use this today. This is the, what is this? The Essence Jelly Grip Under Eye Primer, gripping and refreshing and all that. It looks like this, it's really cute. I'm gonna just put it on my finger actually, and just put it right. I don't need the gripping, but I do wanna see if this is going to sort of smooth over that eczema. All right, so we're gonna start off with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation Dewy. I have it in Soft Ivory. This is a really good, solid, good foundation from the drugstore. It stinks, I will say that. Like, it does have a pretty stinky chemical smell, but the great thing about it is that it has good coverage. I'm gonna say medium coverage, but if you use a sponge, like I'm doing today, you can really shear it out. So it's like your one-stop shop for anything foundation. You need a skin tint, shear it out. You need a fuller coverage foundation. Use a brush, and you can also build up. What I have noticed is that there's a lot of sort of, I don't know if I'd call it self-help, but a lot of like content online that is geared towards, I don't know, like counseling. And some of it is, you know, legitimate counselors that like went to school and all this stuff and like, and all, whatever, and they have all this experience or whatever. So I'm not necessarily trying to disparage like counseling. I think if you need a counselor, you know, counseling and get counseling. But something that like to me, I thought was would be interesting for discussion was I heard, it popped up in my feed. It was a call-in talk show, and I'm not gonna name whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Because I've kind of heard this idea in the past before, so it's not just specifically this talk show or whatever. So the guy calls in and he's like, love your show, man. Like, I've been listening and I've been learning and I've been like trying to do better as a husband. I've been married for 8 years and I'm just trying to do better. And so I've been listening to your show a lot. And the dude's like, oh yeah, man, good. So what's up? And he's just like, well, when I first got married, this was 8 years ago, by the way. When I first got married, I cheated on my wife. Like in the first year of our marriage, I cheated on my wife like 5 times or whatever it was. It was a large number, like that I remember. I feel like it was a large number, but it doesn't matter. It could just have been one time. Doesn't matter. He's like, I cheated on my wife like a number of times, and she never found out about it. To this day, she never found out about it. And like, this is not about, oh, I bet she knew anyway. I bet she had an idea. I bet no, that's not what I'm talking about today. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. That's not what I'm talking about today. So she never found out about it. And after the first year, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm a horrible person. I need to stop doing this. And so I did. I stopped doing it, and please, like, this is just the thought experiment, okay? Please don't be like, well, actually me, and like, let's talk about what we're talking about, okay? Let's not go off on a rabbit trail, okay? So I need to be a better person, and so I stopped cheating. Side note, I was loving it. This is the e.l.f. Hydro or whatever it is, hydrating camo concealer. Ever since I've been using the Tarte, this is not good for me. As far as like, I don't think it's the actual concealer, it's the tone. I have it in medium peach. Too dark, it looks weird, so I'm gonna cover that with a little bit more of the foundation. So anyway, he's like, so I stopped. Like after the first year, I've been a changed man, not doing it anymore. I've been faithful to her. you know, and like we were moving on, everything was going along so good. Like we were happy together. I love her, she loves me, all the whole thing. So happy together. And so anyway, he's like, but I was like, I could be doing better. I could be doing better. I'm like, we're always learning and growing and stuff. So I started listening to your show. And I know in your show, you said, no secrets in marriage. Like you can't have a secret. Like, so I was like, oh no, my wife never found out that I had been cheating on her so many times in the first year of our marriage, even though I've never done it again. I've never been tempted to do it again. I'm not going to ever do it again. I have no desire to do it again. I learned my lesson. I was wrong. It was evil. I did it, but I stopped and I'm not doing it anymore. Like, so I was done with it. But then I listened to your show and you said, you can't have any secrets in marriage because secrets will kill your marriage. Now keep in mind, this secret was not killing his marriage before he heard this guy say it. So my thought experiment is, what should he tell her? Because that was the advice was, well, you got to tell her. You got to tell her because you can't have secrets in marriage. So now what? And speaking of baggage, let's cover up these bags, shall we? Now, ladies, I have never been, and this is the God's honest truth, I've never been in a relationship where a man cheated on me, ever. So I don't know what it's like. I do know what it's like in theory. The thought, because like my thought is my husband is faithful to me, like disgustingly faithful, okay? If there is such a thing. And he's faithful to me. I've never been sitting around wondering if he's looking at other girls. Like for me, I don't care. Like I'm not putting that burden on myself to be constantly worried about whether or not he's looking at other girls. And I am very sorry for women that either have this fear that they're going to be cheated on or they've been cheated on and so they still have that fear. I have very much compassion for them because that to me, like as a person living in this world, that's just another thing to be anxious about. And I don't need that. And I don't like, that does not like occupy my mind at all whatsoever in any way. And I understand that I am thankful, so thankful for that. Like I've got 10,000 other anxieties that I'd be worried about, but that's just not one of them. And I'm very thankful for that. And I'm sorry and compassionate towards anybody who has that issue. The question here is, should he tell her? Now, I know your knee-jerk reaction, because it was my knee-jerk reaction, is, yes, the jerk, he should tell her. Like, how dare she not know? Like, she deserves to know. Well, hold on just 1 second. And again, this is a thought experiment. Cheating is wrong. Cheating is wrong. Wrong, so wrong. Always wrong, every day wrong. Never correct, always wrong, okay? So that's not what we're talking about. We're not discussing disgusting behavior. We're not discussing whether or not cheating is wrong at all in any way whatsoever. It is wrong, unequivocally wrong, okay? So that's not what we're talking about. But if he tells her, he's feeling very guilty about this, okay? He is feeling very guilty about this because someone told him that he should tell. And so now he's feeling very guilty about this. He is feeling guilty about this. So is it wise for someone to tell you to make your confession for a wrong that you did 8 years ago that you learned from, and if I may use the word repented of, which means you turned your back on it, you're not doing it anymore, you have no desire to do it anymore, you're completely changed, it's something that you're never going to do again, and you have proved that by establishing a pattern of behavior that proves that you're not going to do it again? Why would you give that sort of advice to someone when all it's going to do, it will salve his conscience, like he will feel less guilty about having done it, but it's going to put an enormous burden on her, and she didn't know anything about it. So now she's going to have to deal with that. She's going to have to decide what to do with that. And my thought was, cheating is wrong. I don't know that I would want to know. Not even on your deathbed confession. Because again, confession has nothing to do with her betterment. It has everything to do with you feel guilty and you got to get it off your chest. And I just thought like that was very intriguing to me, because as a person that like, I despise lies. So as a person that despises lies, I was having a hard time reconciling but it's a lie and I despise lies, but I also don't want that burden on her. Now she has to decide, and how is she ever going to be able to do that? How is she ever going to be like, well, that was in the past and I'm not going to break up our family because of something you did in the past. That's going to be it's going to be a tremendous burden on her to have to make the decision about it now. And I talked to my sister about this because like we talk about everything. We're always having like philosophical discussions and such all the time. And also like if you are religious, which I don't know what that means. I'm a Christian, so I talk about and think in those terms. And you know, God says don't commit adultery. God says don't lie. So how do we reconcile that? As a Christian, I also know that we are a fallen race. Humanity is a fallen race of beings. And to God, sin is sin. So whether it's a little white lie or whether it's adultery, murder, to God, it's all the same. Now, as humanity, he has given us different punishments for different sins for very obvious reasons. It's not because one is worse than the other. It's just because the repercussions of one sin compared to another differ, and some repercussions are worse than others. So that's why there's different punishments for different sins as far as society is concerned. This is just a thought experiment. Like, this is just a conversation. Again, cheating is wrong. Do not cheat. Do not ever cheat. And the Bible also says that like if you even lust after a woman, you're already committing adultery with her in your heart. So did he confess to her every time he did that? Because again, God is making the case here that like it's not just the action of doing something that can be like that people could find out about. It's also the inner of your heart. And we're all human beings. We all do wrong. I can't believe that there was never a time after the physical cheating that he didn't lust after a woman for any reason, be it a movie star, on screen, off screen, person walking down the street, whatever. Like, our brains are crazy. We sin all the time. So part of me is like, this is just him salving his conscience. Like, he feels guilty and he's got to get it out because he feels guilty. Instead of just living with his own guilt that he brought upon himself, that's not his wife's fault, has nothing to do with her necessarily, as far as like, she's not making him feel guilty, she doesn't even know about it. And so the salving of the conscience for him, putting the burden on her, because now she's got to decide what to do about this. She's got to go through all the mental, emotional anguish that she shouldn't have to deal with. I love this blush. It's one of my favorites. It is a little bit shiny though. I'm gonna probably powder it a little bit. Just take down some of the shine. Might not be the best shade for the sweater that I'm wearing. A little bit warm. And this is sort of like a pine green, so it's good. It's a little bit cooler. There, that's better. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot better. I'm gonna put a little bit of this. I don't know how this is gonna work out. I don't like my under eyes today, so I'm gonna put a little bit of this under just to see what happens. Nah, it's too light. I need, oh, it's a little bit better. All right, so put down in the comments what you guys think about this situation. Like, I know like the knee-jerk reaction is like, no, tell her, how dare you, like, get rid of him, he's a butt. Like, I know that's the knee-jerk reaction, but like, I don't know, my knee-jerk reaction in this situation is like, don't tell her. Don't tell her. You did wrong. You got it right. You never did it again. All this is a salve to your conscience. Now you're going to blow everything up. To what purpose? So that you feel better? Now the burden's on her. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And again, I'm not a counselor. I like none of that stuff. Like, so, you know, let me know what you guys think. And don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, ding my bell. And I will see you in the next one.